Portugal. On the western edge of Europe sits a country smaller than many single American states. And yet, from this narrow strip of Atlantic coast came the maps that redrew the world, a wine that crossed oceans and toasted a new nation into being, a city that named a country, and a chapel built from the bones of the dead. 6 places, 1 nation, every story you're about to hear is true. This is Portugal. Madeira. We begin 1,000 kilometers from the European mainland on a volcanic island alone in the middle of the Atlantic. Madeira. When Portuguese sailors found it, around 1419, it was uninhabited and buried under dense forest, so dense they set it alight to clear the land. What remained became a vital refueling stop for ships crossing the ocean, and that geography created something no one intended. In the 1600s, Madeira's fortified wine was loaded onto nearly every ship crossing the Atlantic. The barrels baked in tropical heat for months, rocking in the hold. Any other wine would have spoiled. This one improved. The heat and the motion transformed it, and Madeira became the only wine in the world that gets better when it is cooked. Merchants noticed that unsold barrels shipped to the tropics and back tasted finer than when they left. They called it Vinho da Roda, the wine of the round voyage, and began sending it on pointless journeys just to age it. It traveled well, and it was not British, so the American colonists drank it constantly. George Washington sipped it daily. The Declaration of Independence was toasted with Madeira. Today, winemakers recreate that ocean voyage on purpose, heating the wine in warm rooms for months on end. A wine born in an accident, on an island born in another one. And it never stopped traveling. Subscribe to GoBeyondia. Lagos. Move south to the sun-baked Algarve coast, to a town most people know today for its golden cliffs and beaches. Lagos. In the 15th century, this small port was the launchpad for the entire age of discovery. Prince Henry the Navigator gathered captains, cartographers, and shipbuilders here and pointed them at the unknown. Their great obstacle was a stretch of African coast called Cape Bojador. Sailors believed it was the edge of the world, that beyond it the sea boiled and monsters waited, and for years no one who passed it returned. Then, in 1434, a captain named Gil Eanes, who had failed the very same voyage the year before, finally rounded the Cape and came back alive. That single voyage broke the psychological wall. From Lagos came a new kind of ship, the caravel, small, light, and rigged with triangular sails that could at last beat back against the wind. It was the technology that turned the impossible into the routine, and it launched the expeditions that mapped the African coast for the first time. Everything that followed, the sea route to India, the landing in Brazil, the first voyage all the way around the globe, traces back to journeys that began here. This tiny beach town is where 6 centuries of European seafaring history began. The whole world got bigger, and it started on this sand. Subscribe to GoBeyondia. Évora. Inland now, across the wide plains of the Alentejo to a walled town that looks frozen in time. Évora. Its center still circles a Roman temple almost 2,000 years old, and the whole of it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But many people come for something far darker. In the 16th century, Évora's cemeteries were overflowing, and Franciscan monks needed the land back. So they dug up the dead, as many as 5,000 of them, took the skeletons apart, and used the bones to build the walls of a small chapel in the heart of town. Skulls and thigh bones, set in careful patterns, cemented into the columns and across the ceiling. But this was never only about saving space. The monks meant it as a message. Above the entrance, they carved a line that still stops visitors cold. We bones that are here await yours. It is a meditation the Portuguese know well, a reminder that death comes for everyone, so live accordingly. And Évora has been keeping time for far longer than that chapel. Just outside the walls stand the almendres stones, a ring of granite megaliths raised some 7,000 years ago, older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids of Egypt. The Chapel of Bones has stood for only 400 of those years, quietly telling every person who walks in that they too are next. Subscribe to GoBeyondia. Lisbon, to the capital, and a catastrophe that reshaped a city and rattled the mind of Europe. Lisbon. On the morning of the 1st of November, 1755, All Saints' Day, The churches were packed and candles were burning when the ground tore open. 3 massive shocks struck back to back in about 6 minutes. Survivors ran to the open waterfront, and there the sea drew back and returned as a tsunami. Then the candlelit city caught fire and the flames burned for days. Between 50 and 85% of Lisbon was gone. But what happened next is why we still talk about it. The king's chief minister, the Marquês de Pombal, gave his orders that same afternoon. Bury the dead, feed the living, rebuild. He leveled the ruined downtown and redesigned it on a clean grid with wide streets and a wooden internal skeleton engineered to flex in a quake. One of the first anti-seismic building systems in history. They even tested it by marching troops around the models to shake them. And the shock reached further than the ground. Pombal sent a survey to every parish. How long did it last? Which way did the animals run? The first scientific study of an earthquake ever attempted. Across Europe, thinkers like Voltaire asked how a good God could permit such horror on a holy day. Modern seismology was born that morning. The Lisbon you walk through today was engineered deliberately on top of the one that was lost. Subscribe to GoBeyondia. Coimbra, north again to a city that was once the capital of the whole country and still runs on students. Coimbra. Its university was founded in 1290, one of the oldest continuously operating universities anywhere on Earth. And it crowns the hilltop above the river. At the top of the old campus sits a library unlike any other. The Joannina Library, finished in 1728 and paid for by King John V, holds more than 70,000 volumes behind gilded Baroque shelves. And beneath it lies a medieval prison where students were once locked away. But the library's real secret only comes out after dark. Living behind the towering bookcases is a colony of bats. Every night they wake, swoop through the halls, and hunt the beetles and moths that would otherwise devour the ancient paper. They are, in effect, the library's unpaid pest control, protecting books they will never read. There is just one problem. Bats leave droppings. So every evening the staff drape the antique reading tables in sheets of leather, carried here centuries ago from Russia. And every morning they roll them up and dust them clean. And the room itself was built like a vault, walls more than 2 meters thick, and a great teak door that holds temperature and humidity almost constant through every season. Climate control engineered 3 centuries before electricity. The bats do the rest. They have done it for generations, and they still do it today. Subscribe to GoBeyondia. Porto, and we end where the whole country began, at the mouth of the river, Douro, in the city of Porto. 2,000 years ago, the Romans named the settlement here Portus Cal, the warm harbor. Over the centuries, that single name did something remarkable. It spread outward, first to the county around the city, then to the kingdom that grew out of that county, and finally to the empire that kingdom built across 4 continents. Portugal is one of the very few nations on Earth named after a specific city. And this is that city. It gave its name to something else, too. The fortified wine aged in the cellars across the river carried Porto's name around the world. We still call it Port. Across the water in Vila Nova de Gaia, those lodges still line the bank, and the flat-bottomed Rabalot boats that once floated the barrels down from the Douro Valley are moored there yet. Porto is a working city, gritty and proud, built in granite and stacked up the hillside above the water. Its old center, a UNESCO World Heritage maze of tiled facades and steep, narrow lanes. The country came from here, took the name with it, and never gave it back. Subscribe to GoBeyondia. Portugal, 6 locations, 1 small nation on the edge of the map, and a history far larger than its size. Step back and look at what one small country produced. A wine that survived the ocean and toasted a new nation into being. A beach town that launched the maps connecting the planet. A chapel that turned death into a lesson in how to live. A capital destroyed and rebuilt smarter than before. A library defended every single night by bats. And a city that gave its name to an entire country. Portugal is smaller than many single American states, sitting quietly at the far edge of Europe. Yet for a few centuries, it was the launchpad for the entire known world. And the evidence is still standing, still pouring, still flying through the dark. These are not legends dressed up for tourists. Every story here is documented, and every one of them is true. That is the whole point. Subscribe to GoBeyondia.